Hey, my name is Matt Higbee. I'm the creative director on Planetside 2, and we're here at the Sony Online Entertainment booth at E3 to show off Planetside 2 to the world for the very first time. Planetside 2 features massive, persistent battles where thousands of players can compete with each other in enormous open-world continents, no instancing involved. It just allows thousands of players to battle it out with air vehicles, ground vehicles, and intense first-person infantry combat. It's a massive online game. It's a persistent online game, so when you capture territory and capture bases within the game, they're yours until somebody comes and takes them back. The map doesn't switch and reload. It's an enormous 64 square kilometer continent that we're showing today. This is one of several continents that are going to be in the game at launch, so there's a huge amount of gameplay space to be able to play on. 2,000 players going to be competing on this at once, and the best part is it's absolutely free. It's a completely free-to-play game. You know, if you were a fan of the original Planetside, there hasn't been another game since, in 9 years since Planetside came out, that captures the epic feeling of Planetside. The idea of hundreds of players being able to coordinate a drop on a base at the same time, or a huge tactical combined arms fight against another player, Empire, no game has ever had that kind of gameplay experience. With Planetside 2, we're just amping it up. So now we have thousands of players that can compete. We have way bigger continents with way more capture points throughout them. So the entire game itself is like Planetside multiplied, and it's not only a completely unprecedented experience for PC gamers out there, but even for Planetside players who are used to what the promise of an MMO FPS gives, they're still going to be blown away by what we've managed to achieve with this game. Well, Planetside 2 features an advanced engine called ForgeLight that we built in-house. It has all the modern FPS bells and whistles that today's modern AAA FPS gamers have come to expect. But it also supports those thousands of players being able to compete with each other at once. So it's an extremely beautiful game engine. It definitely takes advantage of all the newest technology. If you guys get yourself a top-of-the-line gaming PC and really want to put it through its paces, you know, Planetside 2 is definitely going to fit the bill. It has an enormous world that renders tremendous distances. You can see shadows rendering from super far away. Everything uses real-time physics using the NVIDIA physics solution too. So vehicles behave realistically, they crash realistically, they flip over realistically, and all of that is because of the NVIDIA physics system. So we've been working really closely with NVIDIA for all sorts of things. Obviously we use physics for all of our vehicle physics. But we're also using physics for things like particle effects to make them actually behave more realistically. And a lot of that's been working directly with NVIDIA engineers to try to get it working. We've also really pushed the bar in terms of what stunning graphics MMO can create. No other MMO on the market has graphics like Planetside 2 has. And a lot of that's been working really closely with NVIDIA engineers to figure out how far we can push the hardware before it reaches its breaking point. And it's been awesome finding out that it really hardly ever does. It's just up to us to keep trying to push. We're running almost exclusively on 670s here at the booth. We have a couple of machines that are using 590s that we're using for portable demos and stuff. But yeah, we're really happy with the performance we're getting out of the 670 video cards right now, and you know, we can't wait to get more and more of those out there so everybody can be running this game at 2560 by 1600, which is what we run it at back at work. It's enormously graphical. So you'll be able to see a level of texture detail on characters and in the world that's almost unprecedented in an MMO and even in an FPS. Not only that, but the type of environment effects that happen when the time of day changes within this game, the HDR lighting that happens when it's nighttime all of a sudden and rockets and explosions are happening all over the place. It's phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. We're really trying to take a complete next-gen approach to the way that we're building the world and the way that we're doing our day-night cycle so that people are just going to be visually stunned wherever they go within the game. Right now we're doing internal beta with a lot of different employees back in our offices, and it's going great. We're scaling up the world. We're trying to get more and more people on and making sure that the servers keep stabilizing as we add more and more players to it. In the near future, we're going to be inviting you know, the hundreds of thousands of people who've been signing up for beta on our website into the game and really stress testing the servers. Each continent that we have in the game is about 64 square kilometers of gameplay space. It's not just 64 square kilometers of nothing and a little bit of gameplay space. It's 64 square kilometers of actual, legitimate, handcrafted gameplay space. And our plan right now is to launch with 3 such continents. And since this game is free to play and it's an online game, we're going to be continuing to add new continents for the life of the game, which hopefully is a long time. Planetside 2 features a huge variety of weapons. Each one of the 6 classes in the game has access to dozens of different unique weapons, and each empire has its own set of completely unique weapons. Once you have a weapon, there's also hundreds of hours of unlocks for each one of those weapons, where you can unlock different scopes, You can unlock different certification type things, like the ability to have higher damage or have more accuracy within that weapon, and then you slot all those things in. So you're not getting a more powerful weapon, you're just getting a customized weapon that has certain trade-offs that are more in line with your particular playstyle. Planetside 2 is an entirely PvP experience. It allows those thousands of players to compete with each other. There's not a single NPC in the world. You're playing against 2 other factions. There's 3 rival factions within the game. They each have access to their own unique vehicles, their own unique weapons, their own unique customizations, and basically their own unique gameplay styles. Those 3 empires are constantly at war with each other, so depending on which one you happen to be fighting on any given day, you're going to be fighting against all sorts of different tactics and vehicles and strategies. We'll have the beta in the very near future. We're going to be starting to invite lots of players in, and we're really looking forward to starting to get feedback from people, figuring out what people like, what they don't like, what they want us to add, what they want us to remove. So we're stoked. So Planetside 2 is a free-to-play game, and you can play the game completely for free. In fact, any item in the entire game that affects gameplay in any way is available for resources that you earn through playing the game. We have microtransactions within the game. They allow you to shortcut. Maybe I can buy a weapon faster if I use a microtransaction versus using in-game resources, but they never really let you get any sort of advantage. We also have cosmetic customization, so different camo patterns, different add-ons for your armor, different add-ons for your vehicle. Those sort of things are available exclusively through Station Cash. So those of you guys who really want to pimp your ride are going to be able to do that, but you're going to do that by using Station Cash. You'll be able to customize your weapon, what scopes you have on it, what kind of performance items you have on your vehicle, as well as tons of visual customizations. If I want to put an outfit decal on my shoulder, if I want to have a different attachment on my helmet, I want some horns on it, or if I want to have some other armor pieces, different camo patterns, all sorts of different cosmetic customizations that are going to be available within the game.